you can see the scientists that were working on solving the Mars surface anomalies. The only thing they didn't mention, I guess, I don't know if they know, I don't think. There's so few people knows about this. These electromagnetic vehicles, as Dr. Bergrun showing it here, an original NASA plate, photo plate, taken by Voyager. And who knows how many other missions. Look at that. Mars, that's Mars, and it's engulfed in this enormous cloud vapor. And I assume, as he said in the book, that the clouds already magnetized, because that's how the medium they use to utilize the plasma energy to create those dendritic gauges on the ground, on the surface. And that's exactly what you're looking at right there. Look at that. See the black deal right there? This is the burning the surface. Look, you can see right there. And these are, all those numbers are the vehicles that he spotted on it. But look at down here. Look at these enormous cylindrical objects. They appear vertical to our point of view. This deal right here, look. That's exactly how they, and look, and they protruding from that vapor cloud. So this one is triangular here. It's like a pie, piece of pie. But they all have the same type of configuration. I can't believe that the guys that work on the audio visual for this presentation didn't do a kick-ass enhancement of these images. Look at down here, this is three other, they look like working on 3s and 4 pairs, a group of three and 4 groups of vehicles on this side, but they're more on the top and the behind it. Look, there's one gigantic whatever. I mean, this thing is but it's bigger than just that. You don't see a single star anywhere. First, because it's a vapor cloud covering this deal, but second, because I see like a wall of electromagnetic energy. I guess that's what that is. This is difficult to not only to comprehend, but to tell. People, oh, but you're crazy. Well, man, you're looking at this scientist risked his life to tell us the truth. They tried to poison him after this presentation. He never went on to another presentation ever. I guess he's dead by now. He was 94 years old when the last interview that he did. 94, 95. That man was so intelligent that he got his master's in law, a law degree, including the bar exam in 1 year. Something that takes almost 6 years. He did it in 1 year at age 95. Now that's a brilliant mind. Look at that. the book shows that Mondion and Iapetus, the same thing. And he was explaining in this presentation that this vehicle can change their shapes. Listen to what he's saying. Photograph Mars taken by the Mars Observer. Well, check it out. But like I say, the audiovisual people in this Disclosure Project conference, they didn't help him with nothing. They look at the shitty pictures, they didn't try to enhance them, and they had it in the wrong order. What do you see there? They look like two enormous pyramids right there. I mean, their pyramids, they are enormous, but might be squares. Wow, look at the size of this structure. Whoa, boy, that is one gargantuan. Yeah, columns and this is one enormous. Look at that, man. Look at this deal. The real pictures of Mars shows things that are so freaking enormous. We just cannot, I mean, we don't have the right information. He say NASA image is the one that they give to the people. They're worthless. Can work with them. They're all already tampered to death.
Here is a picture of Mars. It was shot from a distance of about 6.3 million miles. And can you bring up the light of the...
See, he's asking them to bring up the light, and this is sad, man. They didn't help him with nothing in this presentation.
This is the North Pole and the South Pole down here somewhere. But you see, there's strange growth through here.
In this part, he's explaining how they use the electricity, how they check it out. That's the image right there I just showed.
Yeah, now what you see here is between these four arrows, there's what we call elliptical shape.
Elliptical
That
shape.
is the nose. And it goes back, you can see that it goes back to here. And so I put a little dash mark as to the top line of the body. Here's a rising streamer, and here's a lateral projection. And
that's how he called
what we got there,
the electricity, the plasma. Lateral projection.
An EMV, we got an EMV right in that area.
Electromagnetic vehicle, EMV.
Once it's there, you get it. And so I wanted to get that concept of where you are, so that if the rover or Spirit were on Mars,
look, this is how the electricity works.
I've taken a plane just across the conductor at right angles.
Concentric magnetic field, current flow,
and under that setup,
conductor,
you
and
get
rods.
concentric magnetic field around that conductor. And so you can think of that plane as being one element of a toroid, which is really a donut-shaped object. And so a number of little spaces to each side of this would contribute to making a donut shape or a toroid.
Toroid.
a number of those can be made all along the conductor. So now you're beginning to see that it has some electromagnetic characteristics. Okay, we're back to this, and why we're going back to this is that you see these streamers come up in here. Well, there's other action in here, and you can vaguely see it right here that go back. When streamers cross each other at right angles, you know darn well that there is an electrical field there. And I drew this to bring out that idea that I saw in those rings, so it's clear as to what I'm talking about. The streamers come up from down below and like that, and then there's some streamers on the body that flow aft, and they intersect essentially at right angles, and that tells you that that field is an electrical field. Otherwise, they would not intersect at right angles. So now you begin to see its electromagnetic in character, and just from these 2 points, I feel that we can name these vehicles EMVs, electromagnetic vehicles, because it does describe essentially the characteristics that they possess. I said the title of the slide there is orthogonality of the streamers. Well, that word means perpendicularity, so it's the same thing. Now here is a flow field around a cylinder. Now what I want you to do is to envision that on the top side here, there's a plate, and you have a battery, and this is the positive side, and down at the bottom there's a plate, and that's the negative side. Okay, and you have a circle in the median here that would enable current to flow from here to here. All right, what happens is these what you recognize as streamlines around the circle can be viewed as potential lines. And the reason they're electrical potential lines is because they're lining up with this plate up here that's at some value, and one line is actually a straight line. And it gets closer to this, right, and it takes on the curvature of this. And in the same way on the opposite side of the axis. Now, you also know that current is flowing from the top here to the bottom.
Current.
And so those current lines will be perpendicular everywhere on their trip to the other side. And that demonstrates a perpendicularity of flow that represents the electromagnetic characteristic.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what happened at Voyager 2 when it passed the rings of Saturn? It's interesting in that we had aboard a plasma probe ring detector, so that we're examining plasma in the ring, and so that heretofore nobody has acknowledged that the rings contain plasma. Well, here's a little graph that I'll show what the ring thickness is for this particular thing. Now, mind you, ring thickness is thought of as being only about 10 miles thick. That is what is being quoted right now. It's 10 miles or less. And yes, the rings can get that thin, but they can also be quite thick depending upon how close to one of these EMVs that the measurement is taken by, because they are thick, and so the stuff that came out will be thick in that locality. All right, now going on here, this curve is the path of Voyager 2 past the ring. Now, in a very short interval here, the instrument is working away and is creating a time history of what it's